Hello everyone, welcome back to another match of Advance Wars by Web. This one is spicy. We have this amazing map. It's called Viridia Aqua. It is from the High Funds mode. This is a Global League match, by the way. It is a tier 1. This map in tier 1 is crazy. Lots of Hawk and Sensei, and I'm not sure even Drake, but yeah, Hawk and Sensei I think is like the most funnest and coolest of matchups in this map, and it can go either way. It is insane. You have the by far stallier CO that is Hawk, global damage. I'm just gonna wear you down with global damage and global healing. And in high funds, it comes more often. It's still really expensive. Those 9 stars, kind of expensive, but at a certain point, it can be hitting you every like 2 or 3 turns. And on the other hand, you have the super aggressive CO Sensei, which yes, he is enabled in high funds. He is banned in fog and standard, but he is available in most maps in high funds in tier 1. Sometimes even tier 2, I think, when naval is too strong. So yeah, doesn't matter. Here he is tier 1, and Sensei is ridiculous. He has that 2-star power that makes that all the cities that he owns spawn 9 HP infantry on all of them. And not only it spawns 9 HP infantry, they're also ready to move and attack. That is absolutely insane. It's not like they spawn and they're weighted as you usually do when you build a unit. You can't move it. No, they spawn and they are ready to go. So you can use them to attack another unit or capture something. If not, you can even go for a super and make a wave of mechs, and all of a sudden every city has a bazooka pretty much, and they move and attack. They also have insane firepower. Sensei's copter is also really good. So in this map, air units are really good. As you'll see, it's full of water. Like you have all these water, you have these 3 bodies of water, and they're connected by these ports. And of course, naval is going to be a factor. Like you can make battleships and stuff like that and carriers, but air is really strong. Whenever you have water, air is king. And so there's gonna be that fighting between naval and air and land. So this map is amazing. I've already covered a video on it, but just a little quick overview of it. It is a mixed base, 4 base map, and every base is all by itself. Like if you're orange, you got this one base here, this one base here, another one here, and another one here. This one is all by itself pretty much. Like it is completely disconnected from the other 3, and it has no airport. This one has an airport, although I guess you could say this airport can kind of go like to this side or this side. This airport is the strongest one, because you have another one on this corner, and it is mostly for this base. And so pretty much the dynamic is that you have your weakest base here in the middle. Like if you're green, this is the weakest, orange is the weakest. And yeah, you could kind of reinforce with this base over here. That is definitely a strategy that you can do, maybe if you want to defend instead of because you will usually use these 2 bases and airport to kind of pour over here and attack this base and sort of try to overrun it. You'll be forced into making bigger units and stuff like that. So there's that whole dynamic. But you can also just use this base to help this base out. Instead of playing very aggressive, you go more defensive. You got airplay, you got naval, you got this base that the only thing it can do is just move down. So its sole purpose is to annoy this base as much as possible, because the more that it does that, it frees up this base right here. If this base has to be defending from over here, then it's not attacking over here. So it is back and forth, one side the other. You're forcing reactions. It is amazing. This map is amazing. And so we have amazing map, amazing matchup, and we also have really good players. We have Dumpling, YZR in the green earth. I will go ahead and start slowly with a match. ZR2, I'm just gonna call player Dumpling. And we have Profeta 7. Funny story, I actually met Profeta in person. He was actually visiting here where I live, and it was like, hey, let me know if you can, and you just hanged out. We just got together and grabbed a beer. It was a lot of fun. Actually, we had a Fernet with Coca, which is something that we drink here a lot. So yeah, Profeta is from Chile. and he came over here, and that was a blast. So really cool guy. It was really cool to meet him. And so yeah, they're both battling out. It is a global league match. They're both around 14 and 13. I think they've maxed at 14, and now they dropped at 13. They're kind of going back and forth. I don't know that much about Dumpling, but I do know that Profeta has been in the scene for a really long time. He's like one of the pros of back in the day. Like, I mean, I'm not sure how far back in the day, but he's been here like before Star Flash and all of those. So yeah, we're gonna start off with this infantry, going to capture. You're not capturing any neutral bases, so you're just going for cities. You got this double city back here, which is pretty good. So you usually are going to send your first one down there. And we got our first vehicle over here. We got this tank in the middle by Dumpling. Very I guess defensive, you could say. It is kind of tricky because you only have 2 infantry to capture, so it is going to slow down these captures having this tank here. Interesting that Prophet decided to go for the city instead of the airport. I think usually you go for this airport first, get it as fast as possible. You can also then chain it to this one, and this guy is free to go to over here to this chain or something. But maybe he has something in the plans. Also, he decided to skip this city with the first infantry and went for this city instead. So I don't know. I'm not gonna question Profeta. He plays really well, so we will just see what is gonna happen. But yeah, as we were talking in the intro, the Sensei is the most aggressive CO here in the matchup. So Sensei is going to be wanting to put on that pressure, keep that aggression. Maybe that's why this tank is being made here so early. It is going to be pointing at this infantry. Is going to force Profeta to make a tank, of which he hasn't made any vehicles yet. Like, maybe because it was made over here, doesn't really feel the need. It does mean that Profeta can't just skip over and go and capture this city, which I'm not sure if they would be that smart, because then this guy can shoot. Remember, the Sensei has like, how much? 40% extra attack on infantry. So, insane firepower. So this is definitely going to force a tank here, so that is going to be fine. This tank is not going to get any damage. And we start capturing over here. Yeah, there you go, we got the first tank. And that is it, just saving funds, just making the least amount of vehicles possible or necessary, just enough to hold on from any early aggression, and just saving the rest of the funds for later when it's needed. And also at the same time, pumping out more infantry. I think something that is really key, really vital, is for every base to have at least 3 or 4 infantry. 4 is the best. 3 is like the minimum. Because when you have only 2, when you make a day 3 recon or a day 3 something, you're gonna be very behind on captures, and you're gonna start to notice it. And so here this tank is gonna get some damage, which is delaying this city by at least 1 turn by sitting on it, preventing this infantry from starting this capture. And at the same time, it is also pointing at this city, so it's still doing something. So it's forcing Profeta now to either, with this infantry, go for this port instead of the city, or build a tank. I mean, I guess you could also just make a copter and then attack the tank. So, and we got the first copter by Dumpling, by Sensei, these crazy copters. I think it's 50% extra firepower on those copters. Let's see. Yeah, 50%. 150 attack, just normally. And then with the copter, 160, just ridiculous. And with the powers, it gets more. It's insane. So yeah, Sensei copters are a force to be reckoned with. So let's see. And we're gonna make artillery here by Profeta, and another artillery here in the middle, and the copter over here. So yeah, that is gonna be what's gonna be defending that infantry. And these artillery just very chill play. We got this infantry which is in range of these two. This tank should not attack this tank. It is a hawk tank on an own city. So yeah, no. So we're gonna finish these captures, and this city is super contested. This city is incredibly contested. You really want to get that city early. You'll see that the timing here is working out better for Dumpling, as this copter, I think, was a little bit delayed. And maybe it's because Profeta went for that city first instead of the airport. Maybe this could have been a copter earlier. But I think maybe not, because if it was a copter earlier, then that meant that this tank would not have been able to be built. No, actually I'm wrong. No, never mind. Because Profeta had saved funds, so he could have made tank and a copter here that turn. But yeah, just going for that city instead of the airport first means that this copter is delayed. But you know, then that means that this copter cannot interrupt this capture. So this capture is guaranteed for Sensei, which is pretty big. But this one is not guaranteed for Hawk. That is what I was trying to go for. I sometimes ramble on and kind of go through the branches of what I'm thinking. But yeah, this infantry would love to go and capture this city, but you got this copter right there pointing at it. And you could make an anti-air, but it's not going to reach. It needs one extra turn. It's just 7 tiles away. So yeah, the timings. Maybe this artillery could have been an anti-air instead. But it's tricky. These copters, I'm telling you, they go crazy, because not only this copter is pointing at that city right there, it is also pointing at this infantry right here. So you would have to make an anti-air here to, like, 1, 2, 3. Oh no, I guess no, because if you make an anti-air, no, you still finish the capture. Oh no, yeah. I think you finish the capture and you make an anti-air. But I guess it's not needed. That is something that I had done in my match. In the video that I posted, but I don't think you need an anti-air to cover this guy. I think it's fine to let it soak a hit here if you need the funds somewhere else. If not, if you're sparing the funds, then you know, go ahead, be my guest, make an anti-air, defend your infantry from those pesky copters. This copter, strangely, is not gonna move full move, just gonna move 5 tiles here in range of attacking this tank on the city and this infantry right here. And Profeta's gonna go for a little capture artillery blocking here thing, and does make a Neo tank. So this infantry could have gone here, because right now, if this would have been an infantry, it would have been a problem. Because this infantry is very easy to kill. Sensei can just interrupt here, use this infantry, boom, take this out. Tank comes here, attacks the artillery, and you have nothing to respond to that. If this infantry would have been here, then that would not have been possible. Maybe there's a reason to put it in the mountain, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's why we're gonna need that Neo tank to completely deter that tank from breaking through and attacking this artillery. We're gonna get this little setup here, kind of block. You can still interrupt you from the mountain. So let's see what Dumpling is going to do right now. We got T-Copter here as well. If I'm not wrong, Sensei gets that extra movement, which is not showing here. Not sure why. Let's see. But yep, that is wrong. Yeah, Sensei gets that extra movement with the T-Copters. I think it's showing now 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah, now it is. But this T-Copter is great because you can get this city, these little island ones, and they're not only hard to get, but if you're able to get them, they're impossible to flip, because you can see them, you know, them are trying to flip your city from miles away, and you can have copters here all the time, and you can sacrifice a copter to interrupt that infantry. You can have, I don't know, a rocket, or you can bring an artillery. Like, it's really easy to lock these down. I guess except if you're green, you capture it, but still you can still send copters, and you're gonna force a copter fight. It's just really hard. And so yeah, actually Profeta is going to let this infantry get a hit there. Look how much damage that does. Those Sensei copters, they just go crazy. And actually gonna allow this capture. I thought maybe Sensei was gonna boom hit there from the mountain, but no. I'm gonna start that capture. Really gonna want to prioritize getting this city. This one is so incredibly contested, and getting a similar formation here than Profeta has. And I think you could do the same thing. Like, you could break through here with the 2 infantry and hit the tank. But I mean, you still have this other tank, so, and you have another tank coming. So we'll see. I think maybe Profeta could interrupt it. But the worst thing is that we haven't seen any fighting yet. And with Sensei, it's like you start fighting, and all of a sudden he starts using those powers, and you thought you were doing fine, and all of a sudden there's a million infantry everywhere, and it's just impossible to break through. And he starts killing all of your infantry. It is just so incredibly annoying. This copter is gonna get a free hit here because this wasn't an anti-air. I think it could have been an anti-air. I'm not sure this tank would have wanted to attack this tank. It would have died to this artillery. Even if it attacked like this, breaking through, and it attacked the tank or the artillery. Oh, I guess it could have attacked this tank from the minimum range of the artillery. That could have been pretty nice. Yeah, that was probably something that wasn't ideal. So kind of felt forced to make a tank to defend this formation, and just gonna let this infantry get a hit here. It's not like it's gonna be easy for Hawk to flip any of these cities with, again, Sensei just spawning infantry from the middle of nowhere. Neo tank just gonna charge forward completely unpunished. There's no tech ups or anything here to deal with that Neo tank, but those Sensei copters are really gonna pack a punch onto that Neo tank if left on like the road or stuff like that, so gotta be careful. And I think this is gonna be an anti-air for sure. Yeah, okay, there we go, got an anti-air. Now he is covering those infantry, and just pulling back from over here. Got that capture, happy with that. Getting a little bit greedy maybe here, like, yeah, you know what, maybe I can get this city too. That artillery is not in position, and I have this Neo tank. I'm 100% sure that Dumpling is not gonna allow this capture to go through. And also moving forward over here to these two. We'll see if this T-Copter is gonna be used to go for this island. Hasn't made any single vehicle from this base just yet. It is only infantry. That is very common. And yes, there we go. We're gonna go for that island right there, and it looks pretty secure. No, actually no, because you have this copter, and we got this one also guarding. So. And we're gonna use this tank to interrupt the capture, finish it off, and bring those closer, kind of like covering everything from the Neo tank. And get a shot down there, just cover everything. Always logging at that city, but it is kind of impossible for this base to flip this city, pretty much. It is very, very contested. As you'll see, this is like, no one is gonna be able to get this for free. We're gonna sacrifice this guy to interrupt and another attack there, and that infantry is gonna die. And it gets really tricky from here because Dumpling, for example, should and really does need to start sending something over here. You got this infantry is dead, and then the other one was sent over here. This copter is floating in the middle. You have nothing over here. So if you want to keep Hawk away from this extra income, you need to keep sending units, keep sending infantry, copters, tanks, something. But if you send more stuff here, you won't be sending over here, and there is stuff to be dealt with over here. So it is so tricky, but it is so much fun. It is an amazing map. This Neo tank doesn't want to be sitting on the shoal or roads. It is very awkward over here. There's so many roads and shoals, so it's kind of hard to get an effective defensive position from this one base. You kind of have to pull back over here to get really defensive, and then yeah, you can defend. But over here, it is very, very tricky. You can also get hit from so many angles. And this copter cannot just like float around for free because you got this copter zoning it out. So it looks like Dumpling is going to get this extra city. And again, remember, like Hawk is the stallier, like by far stallier CO than Sensei. Sensei wants to keep that aggression going, keep the match always fighting. And so at the same time, Sensei wants to, in the long run, make sure that Hawk has much lower income. Like wants to be denying income early, wants to be flipping stuff from Hawk. So far they're even on income. Yeah, I think they're gonna be absolutely even right there. Yeah, 44 each. So he's gonna be ahead here. Maybe actually has this one, so maybe he's gonna put Sensei a little bit ahead. But yeah, gonna really have to contest these cities. Has to contest this one, which wasn't able. This one for sure has to get it. Like really has to keep pushing that income difference. to overcome the insane powers of Hawk. These copters are just, they're both gonna shoot. This is a classic, I have more copters than anti-airs can deal with them, so you just send them all in and attack stuff. And yes, one will die, but you got away with a shot, and then you're gonna get another shot. So it's still very effective, especially if you get a breakthrough like this, and then you can start chipping away at the army. Look at that, oof. So now this image is gonna go for that city right there. We're gonna get all these little positions. And the artilleries are protected from the Neo tank because these units are very injured, so they're not gonna be able to break through these infantry. And these artillery are kind of covering all of the units. Like this one is covering these. This Neo tank, the only thing it could do is shoot from here onto this tank, and then the anti-air could come and kill a copter. But then this Neo tank could be shot by a tank, by a copter. And very quickly, look at that, we already have 1 star. Like, next turn Sensei is gonna have that charge ready for the I don't even know what the name is of the power. It doesn't even say here, the copter command, or so yeah. So gotta be very careful with that with that charge and those Sensei powers. And that is in the back of the mind of Profeta right now. You're Hawk and you're like, I only have 2 stars and like I'm miles away from any power, and Sensei is ready. Like, you are gonna kill 1 copter and that is ready to go. Also, nice little blocking here with this T-copter, because that was like the safest tile for this anti-air. So that forces the anti-air to be more exposed. Either go and kill this one, or be here on the road tile or on this forest. It's just a little bit more exposed than this one that was like the nicest and safest one. So Neo tank is gonna go and get that shot there, the only one that was free, which did a lot of damage really. Kills that copter, and yeah, look at that. That copter command is coming, and we're gonna make a battleship, and that is a classic play from this board to defend this base, because as you can see, it can very easily become overwhelming for this one base in the middle. You got the 2 base joining here, you got the 2 airports as well, just way too many units. And one tactical little thing that you overlook, boom, they break through, kill half your units, and there's no way you can overcome it. So this battleship is more so like protecting, it is also protecting that anti-air from any tanks. I'm gonna assume we're gonna make another anti-air, yeah, there you go. Because that one will probably die, maybe, most likely. And you got these 4 infantry charging for, and there's nothing here from Sensei. There's a single tank, and it can't even get a shot free because there is a tank covering. So this is not looking good for Sensei, for Dumpling. There is gonna be that power coming, so there's gonna be an infantry here that could show up and go and interrupt this capture. So that is definitely something that you're gonna want to do as Sensei, I'm sure. And Profeta here, playing more conservatively, hasn't been able to join these 2 armies yet. Just gonna float around with the copters. This anti-air, I guess this anti-air was made from like in fear of this copter, which kind of like swung here to the right. But now it's like this army can kind of decide whether to go to over here or over here. It's gonna be really hard to flip this one. You got this artillery there locking, but you got a T-copter as well that will want to go for that. I'm not sure why it didn't move full move to then go over here, but oh well. And yeah, we got the battleship. It is covering this area. It's gonna prevent, we're gonna deter the killing of this anti-air. I wonder when or if Dumpling will use the power. There's 1 or 2 here sitting on the city, so this one too, so you would want to move them off. There's this tank as well, so we're gonna move that one. We're gonna move that tank. We're moving that artillery. I think it's coming. Yep, there you have it. Copter command. Boom! Look at all those images. Now all of a sudden 51 units for Sensei. Look how many infantry. 31 infantry versus 17. So almost doubled. That is insane. Even these 2 from the back, and look how many infantry. And your classic composition with the Sensei, oof, look at that. Is like you have all of these infantry to form these insane walls. They're not that great of walls, no, like they're very fragile. They're also at 9 HP, so they're easy to break through, but you have so many of them you can dispense with. You make 2 layers of infantry. And then you have artillery behind. It's like the perfect composition for Sensei is infantry, artillery, copters. And with that, you deal with everything pretty much. Like those three are gonna be the units that you need. It's very similar to grid, but in this case, you just have tons of infantry, and yeah, you just overwhelm your enemy with that. Like if they send tech ups, you use artillery. Boom, 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 boom. They bring copters, you use your copters, or you also can have some anti-airs. So yeah, it becomes very difficult. And in this map, where you see it's very choky, right? Like the amount of tiles available are very few for land units. You got these 4 tile wide here as well. It's like 2 with with the mountain and the forest. So it's very easy for Sensei to form these infantry walls and make it really awkward for the opponent to break through, and can really like just occupy everything. And so we're gonna start this capture and this one and this one, and this one will guarantee be captured as well as this one. I'm not sure why Sensei went for this attack and not the interrupt here. I don't know. But yeah, look at that copter doing 4 HP of damage into that new tank is crazy. Got the artillery behind covering. Got this one covering this other capture. Sure, you can. What can you do? I mean, you bring this new tank over here. You attack here. You can break through here, and you can kill maybe 2 copters, but you're gonna lose your anti-airs. It is very tricky. Look how many units, and you can only make 1 from here. So it is complicated, and I think here Dumpling is gonna need some artillery. That would be really great to start having. Not sure why the second tank or a rocket. That would be amazing. Make a rocket, boom, 1 turn, and then I don't know, second turn, whatever. And you can slowly start pushing them with all these infantry. And if you think this is a lot of infantry, just wait until Sensei uses another power, and actually makes the first tech up here. First tech up that Dumpling is gonna make is gonna be here in the middle from this one base. Gonna make a medium tank. Not super sure it is needed, but still probably worth. And also sends this anti-air from the top. I'm not sure where it came from. But anyways, Battleship is gonna blow up a 1 HP tank. Okay. Now there you go. A new tank is gonna hit from over there. The only free tile. So we're gonna get the 2 copter kills. Probably gonna make another anti-air. Attack that guy over there. Finish this guy off and start another capture. So it is pretty even in income, but just wait until next turn, because we have 2 city flips plus 2 normal captures. So that is gonna put Sensei ahead on income. And so here Hawk is gonna break through. Very easy breakthrough. It's an 8 HP infantry. Tank is gonna hit that artillery. Possibly an oversight here by Dumpling that should have never been allowed. But yeah, breaking through to that artillery, oof, that hurts a lot. This means now we can make a neo tank. It's much more. It's less of a threat, right? Again, the composition. Like Sensei needs those artilleries to be healthy behind the lines, the layers of infantry. Also gets the interrupt here. Gonna get that artillery. Not sure if was it just made? Or did it shoot? Okay, I think it shot. I'm sorry for going back. I don't like going back like that, but I just wanted to check. But yeah, it looks like Sensei is just gonna be sending bodies of infantry to try to get this capture after getting just rocked by these artillery shells. So this is really nice from Hawk to try to get this locked down. But I think eventually Sensei will get it, especially if this copter comes over, it can hit from the mountain or something. But still, it's gonna mean that Sensei is gonna have to invest a lot of infantry to flip them over. And there we go, we got the 4 city captured. Oof, look at that, 56k income versus 42, and now that's a nice difference of income. That can really make the game. If Sensei is able to hold that income difference, that is pretty big. plus the overwhelming amount of units. You can slowly start pushing with your artillery, rockets, even some neo tanks or mega tanks, and it's gonna be hard for the other, for Hawk to play against that. You're just gonna have less units. You have to use your vehicles to break through infantry, and then you get slapped back by neo tanks. It's gonna be tricky. But here come the copters. They're just floating on the water, coming closer. You try to defend, bringing the medium tank. Also got a hit on that artillery, so now this medium tank is like, it's all good now. There isn't that threat anymore. And also this copter is like pointing at that battleship, so gotta be careful. Again, those copters, they can hit really hard and they do a lot of damage to battleships, especially if they're on the water. You really don't want to allow that. And actually, Hawk is gonna get one extra city, so now the income difference is gonna be 12k. Still pretty nice for Sensei. We're gonna get some tank attacks here. Another tiny kill by the battleship. Hasn't really been getting that much value just yet. And we're gonna break through, and then I thought it was gonna attack the artillery, but it's just gonna take out an infantry to get a shot onto that tank. Okay, interesting. But look at that power. Maybe that's the reason why this whole attack is going like that, as well as attacking there into the city. Got that 8-5, and we're just a little bit away. Okay, also gets that copter attack, and this one's nice because there's nothing that can attack that copter. And now, yes, we got the Black Storm. Oh, we got the 2 HP global heal and 2 HP global damage. It is just devastating. If you look at the unit value, it's 60k difference. That is huge. So much damage plus the extra stats. Gets the kill there with the anti. Now this tank is as brand new. Gonna start that capture. Now everything here is hurt. And it's crazy because, you're Sensei, you get all these 9 HP infantry. Remember these two, they came from back here. Now they're at 7. Like, if you thought they were easy to kill before at 9, they're even easier now at 7. So, yeah. Hawk is just really, really strong with those supers. But I guess the sea copter really wanted to go for the city, but it's not going to be able as long as these copters are just floating around and having control of this area. Having to pull back from over here, there's just way too many infantry. Just having to concede, and just pulls back enough that this artillery can securely point at this city. So maybe Profeta is like, okay, fine, you can have that city. I just want to hold onto this one. I have these two, so we can both kind of have these. I'm gonna try to force a fight here onto this city because you've been sending everything over here. I need to force you to do something here. There goes the T-copter. We're gonna join some infantry. That is something that also Sensei can do, just joining infantry or mechs and get some extra cash. Let's see what the plan is now for Dumpling. After receiving that global damage of Hawk, But we do have that power ready to go, so whenever Dumpling wants, he can use that power, get some more infantry. I think probably the plan, we see a lot of infantry joining here. We get that a little bit of extra cash, as well as having fresh infantry, 10 HP healthy infantry to be threatening these captures. It's not like this can threaten this just yet, but actually there we go. We're gonna get that copter command now that every city is free, and even hitting the unit limit of 60. And maybe that makes sense. That's why all those unit joining is because Dumpling would have reached the unit limit, and then you don't get those extra infantry. So might as well just join some, get some extra cash, have them healthy, and get those extra little guys. Even like, look at this one, the new one. Like this one had moved off. We got the new one, join it, get some more cash. And so actually, Dumpling's gonna use that tank to interrupt this capture, huh? Okay, and that is a lot of damage for a copter. Wow, that is insane. Look at that damage. Wow. That is a dead copter, but that tank is gonna go unpunished, and that is I guess that makes sense now. That is why this tank was used to interrupt instead of like say an infantry. It's because this tank couldn't reach. So this is just gonna be back and forth, power after power. Well, power after power of Sensei, and then in a few turns we're gonna get another one of Hawk maybe. Who knows? But it looks like Dumpling is just kind of pulling back. It does have a lot of units, but they're all mostly infantry and injured vehicles. You got this artillery, these two tanks, so really can't answer to any of this. You also don't want to just allow this to just start destroying all of these infantry. You cannot need them as your wall. And so there we go. We got artillery here. It's at 8 HP. We're gonna have to heal that. Now getting a Neo tank. So I think it's looking okay for Sensei. It's definitely the kind of position that you would want to be a Sensei, where you really need to get to that composition. You've gotten through that first stage of aggression, okay, boom, securing an income. A Sensei has these three on both sides, and that is huge. And is now, I guess next time is gonna get this one. So the income difference is there. It's a nice income difference, but you can't just rely on that. You need to really close out the game. So you really need to get to that composition and push forward and just get that win condition. Either capturing the labs, taking out the bases, like really go for those next objectives. You just can't sit around. But all in all, it's looking, I think, okay for both. Like even for Hawk, yes, you're behind an income, but I think you can be okay. You just need to hang on, maybe even it out again on income, stall it out a little bit. It's definitely still variable for both here, which I think is really interesting. New tank is gonna get a free kill there, and the battleship is gonna move off from the port, not over here, because you have all these hungry copters, and it's gonna make a carrier. So look at that range, and that is gonna, it can do a lot. Like it's gonna deter these copters from attacking over here. It can also move off and I don't know, maybe do stuff over here. It could potentially, I don't know, airport lock here, but it is pretty nice. This gives like a nice no fly zone for these copters, so definitely some value to be gotten there. And if anything, it also allows it makes it so that Sensei can't just float here, right, on the sea tiles, because it's so easy to just be like, okay, you know what, I'm just gonna be here, boom, 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 boom. But all these copters just like one tile away from the shoal, which is enough for the anti-air not to reach, and they can just be pressuring everything. They can be pressuring this area. This area is like, no, now you can't. Now I got this guy pointing at this whole area, so now you cannot use this as your pivot of the copters. Copter's gonna go down. I'm gonna start another capture, and now this tank is gonna be somewhat deterred. I wonder what's the objective of this battleship. It is covering these two tiles, so we'll see. It could in the long run also take this guy out, and then you could bring a T-copter, flip the city. That would be pretty big. And Sensei is gonna try to get this other city. I'm gonna block. It's actually gonna do this way, so this copter can't attack the infantry. Sounds pretty good. So very, very good job here by Sensei to trying to keep that aggression going and going for more cities, more income. We're gonna attack that anti-air, and we're gonna need that anti-air to defend from this copter. I think this artillery could next turn just sit over here, right behind this mountain, and start capturing. The thing is that you do have this artillery though, so it's gonna be very hard to dislodge that artillery. I think Dumpling is gonna need. Whoa. There you go. I think Dumpling is gonna need like a copter or I don't know, or a rocket or something to dislodge this artillery from here. I think if you get a rocket, you can put it here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. So a rocket could be. It's gonna take a while though. But yeah, tricky. So maybe there's more things that Dumpling can do somewhere else on that map, like holding this city for sure. And maybe try to flip this one. To win via lab cap, it's gonna be really hard. Like you can flip this lab, but the other one is all the way over here, so it's gonna be really, really, really tough. But I think overall, if Dumpling is able to get this city, get that 60k income versus 44 and just hold it and then slowly push forward with that perfect composition, is going to be amazing. Even going to try to go for this city, but it's more so like forcing these units to stay in here, getting a little attack there, and we're going to get another copter command. And well, actually the unit limit is higher. Okay, so it's not 60, it's more. Maybe it's 70. Or maybe it's more, maybe it's 75, who knows? We'll have to see. But yeah, getting tons and tons of energy, almost double. I guess not almost double, but somewhat. Just a lot of units. And we're also gonna get a tank attack there, so that's really nice. Okay, so this is gonna force this artillery to either interrupt the capture or take out the tank. I think it can take out the tank and then interrupt with an infantry. But just kind of forcing a lot of resources from here. You can start to see like now there's a lot of units here. There's a lot of units here. And it's almost like there's more units from green than there are from orange here. And there's 70 versus 44 overall on the map. So it's not easy for Profeta to just like join these armies and push forward as you would normally do. And like Sensei has so many units that he can be pushing on all sides, on all the bases, which is insane. So there you go, we're gonna start healing these guys, this tank, this artillery. Very key to heal up these artillery. This one also to get back to full health. Gonna bring these guys, join some infantry, get some extra cash. And I'm gonna make some more copters, more artilleries, and that is the composition. And Neo tanks from over here. I think here rocket would be really nice from Sensei because it's just one turn move, right? And then it's already covering the city, or it can be logging the city. So a rocket from over here for Sensei could definitely be viable. Another thing is that this battleship could have also gone this way, and in one turn it is logging that base. So it is a real danger. And I think that's why these copters have to be here to kind of patrol this area and not allow that battleship to just freely move over here. So it's something to always consider. And so Profeta is gonna actually shoot at the infantry with the artillery, use the tank to attack there. Probably gonna make like a medium tank or something. I think a medium tank would work very well. Oh, okay. Never mind. Actually makes a battleship. Profeta really loving those battleships in this match. That is really funny. And the carry, wow, look at that. That was definitely an oversight by Dumpling. And I mean, I didn't even notice that reach. That is crazy. Look at that range. So yeah, boom, down goes a copter. No charge for Sensei either. Just a little bit of extra charge for Hawk, which is great. And just kind of have to like pull back. There's not a lot of tiles left here for Hawk to use. So yeah, Profeta is kind of like against the ropes, right? Like there's you got an army here, this big army over here is like just looming on you, and there's no infantry from Profeta either here. Like just now he was able to make an infantry, the only infantry in this area to potentially start threatening to capture with this like a million infantry. Yeah, no, I'm saying there's just no way you can flip any city of these. There is just so many infantry. Like Sensei is just gonna keep throwing those infantry at you to interrupt yours all the time. It becomes really hard to flip the cities from Sensei because he just keeps throwing infantry at you. He'll start sniping your infantry as well. Like his are so dispensable. He just gets so many. He can just join them, get cash, throw them away, like even sacrifice them for charge. It doesn't really matter because there's so many. While on the other hand, you're like so strapped for infantry. Like you have so little, and you have to really manage their use, or else you can't flip anything, and then they're just gonna kill you with overwhelming income and an army. And so here we are with all these units on the map. Look at those unit values as well, almost 300 for each, just insane. And it's not like they're not fighting. Like there isn't a stall, there's fighting everywhere. We were gonna get a neo tank attack here, get some of that charge, maybe get a breakthrough. Does get a breakthrough, but there's nothing to follow it up. There's no tank to attack this artillery, but did get a nice Neo-tank kill, and now it's gonna start capturing this. Could also kind of block here, maybe. Also gonna start this capture, the island one. So looking really nice for Sensei, really. Gonna get this anti all healed up, bring this other Neo-tank. Look how many, just because all these forces are kind of like tucked away over here, they can't really help out, and there's nothing left here. Like, there's one artillery that's responsible for 3 tech ups and this city. Like, I mean, you would probably send this infantry or maybe this copter, but oh, that is a lot. And you have 2 tanks. You need a Neo-tank ASAP or a mega tank or something. There is just so many. Look at what Sensei can do with so many units. I'm gonna take that one out. I'm gonna sacrifice some infantry to break through again, and probably gonna attack that artillery. Maybe? Okay, maybe not. Doesn't attack the artillery. Because I think a plan could be of like breaking through, attacking the artillery, and then starting a capture here because that was injured, but yeah. I don't think you're gonna get that city anytime soon. The plan of the rock and all of that, yeah, no, now just forget about it. If only, I think actually Protect can interrupt this capture and then moves off the battleship 1 tile, and it could also lock this one. This battleship could also, you know, in 1 turn, it can be here, and it will be locking that base as well. So, just stuff to consider, you know, always have it there in the back of your mind. And we actually get, I know a lot of people are going to be very hyped about this, we are going to get a submarine. I think this might be the first time in the channel that there's a match with a submarine made. And it is going to be to contest this battleship and this carrier, so that is definitely going to be interesting. It could get hit by this copter, it is going to die by these. The copters don't do that much to the submarine, I think, and it is on a port, so this is going to pose a threat onto this battleship. It's going to really push that back. So very, very interesting. Not a meme unit, in this case it is actually viable. So those infantry are just going to die. That one will also die, and there's no way that Prophet is going to allow this capture to go through. There we go. Boom, boom. Get some attacks on that medium tank. Look at that. Boom. Double copter. Get an artillery shot onto that Neo tank. Okay, so pretty nice. With the help of the 2 copters dealing with this medium tank, it was definitely really nice. Takes out another infantry, and we're going to make a Neo tank very much needed. It's going to cover over here, because if not, you know, again, this could take out the anti-air, then you attack the artillery. Like, it can get really tricky. And just kind of like letting this area, like sending all these things over here, send all of these vehicles, even these 2 tanks are going to be sent to the right. Probably just going to be content with covering this one city with the battleship and the artillery, and that'll be it. We'll probably be looking to capture this city eventually sometime with the support of this battleship. And I don't know, maybe a missile. Maybe I think you could make a missile and just put it here and then cover it from the copters, because it's gonna be hard to cover with anti-airs, right? And the carrier is actually it's gonna move off and sit over here. I mean, interesting because it can get hit by this copter, but it is kind of covered by these anti-airs. So, but yeah, just kind of trying to deter, I guess, scared that Sensei could take out these anti-airs, and then attacks also the 2 copters, and then these 2 copters could attack for free stuff. So with that carrier, it kind of deters all of that from happening. Just pulling back from over here, just defensive formation, attack there. You gotta maybe slowly get ready to attack the city, but not really that interested. And now Sensei is at 60k income versus 44, so looking really good for Sensei actually. Hawk still has a chance. I think those supers are really gonna sting, and the unit value is looking good. No, it's still okay. It's still okay. And that is exactly what's gonna happen. Both copters are gonna be taken out by the copter and anti-air. And actually gonna plunge in over here to take these out. I guess take out all those infantry. Gonna sacrifice there. Gonna get some attacks. Sacrifice a copter. Ooh. Do you know what's coming? Why are we sacrificing copters against anti-airs? What? Why do you think Sensei would do such a thing? Ooh, get ready, because here it comes, and we're gonna have enough charge. We're gonna join a few, you know, to reduce that amount of units. We're gonna reduce the amount of units. Why? Join more, you know, bring it down 56. Maybe join a few more. We're gonna join a few more, 55, and there we go. Airborne assault. Look at all those mechs, and look at that. Now I have mechs everywhere, and especially down here. Now these mechs, they're gonna shoot at those antlers that we were talking before. Even that artillery is gonna be taken out. Boom. This mech is gonna be like, nope, you wanted to capture the city? Not today. And then this mech is gonna take out that anti as well. So now there's no anti-airs, no copters. This copter is still gonna die. Of course, there's this carrier, but that was a nice cleanup right there by Sensei. Even gonna get a kill onto this anti with that mech. Just the amount of units, 74 units for Sensei. I think the limit is 75, if I'm not wrong. Just insane. And now the value is looking really nice. 32 or 320,000. Even gonna get another submarine. Wow, insane. Submarine's gonna dive. Oh, did it not dive? I'm not sure if it shows here if it's dived or not. And here just kind of pulling back. This army just can't really do much until this battleship is dealt with. But really good job by Sensei. That mech play. I'm not sure if Profeta was calculating for that for the mech play, and it is very viable as you can see. And deletes the T-copter. Oh yeah, because 75 is the unit limit. Okay, so wanted to make a unit here, and just base skips, because if you hit the unit limit, then you know that's it. I guess you could also like join a few of these mechs to get that extra cash and more space. But he did also spend all the money. Like you got a Neo tank, submarine. The submarine is going to try to contest this area, like get rid of this battleship. This one is going to be also going towards here, or it could also go this way. We'll see where Dumpling decides to use that submarine. And here goes the Black Storm by Hawk. Gonna heal up all those units by 2 HP, and just that insane global damage of 2 HP to everything. Just insane. It's like you got these brand new units coming out, and it's like they're already injured. But there goes down the copter, and the mechs are also gonna get shot down. And we're gonna do a little bit of a cleanup here, so that's really nice for Hawk. And now there's not a lot of units for Sensei. That whole army kinda now got whittled down, but we still have a lot of army areas. Like look at this army, that is insane. We got these Neo tanks all charging forward, and we're gonna get this artillery, and I think Sensei here now has to pull back. Not much to be done here, not really an answer to this Neo tank. And now yes, the submarine will dive, and it could be shooting. Oh, okay, and the other one as well. So these two could actually both shoot from both sides, you know, boom, and lock the battleship in there inside the port so it can't move and it's stuck. And then next turn it probably dies. And they could also threaten this carrier, so really, really interesting what's going on. I'm gonna pull back and heal up some of these guys, gonna heal some of these mechs as well. I think with until this battleship is taken care of, it's gonna be hard for Dumpling to charge forward as well. There isn't that many. I think this new tank was just made. Oh no, actually no. Maybe this new tank is gonna be sent this way. Not sure why it was sent here to the right. But yeah, just kind of pulling back, maybe regrouping, reassessing what to do. Gonna get some attacks here and just block stuff and try to go for this capture. So props to Dumpling for keeping that aggression going, like not stopping, except here. I'm not sure why we're pulling back so far. I mean, I do understand there's 2 new tanks, but I think if you keep the new tank here, then you can be fine, and just keep all the units over here. And if Hawk wants to attack, then come at me, bruh, pretty much. Like, let Hawk attack, and you just take the stuff out. You can use the mechs to take out some of these as well. So I'm not sure why the pulling back. I think this new tank is going over here, but I'm not sure. You could just like send it here and make another one, send it down here. Gonna join some more units, get some cash, and make some more infantry. It's almost as if Sensei doesn't really need the to make infantry, right? Like you don't need to make this infantry because you have so many. But it's fine. The battleship is gonna move away. We can see the submarines, but Profeta can't. So now he has to remember where they were, and has to stay away from the submarines. So has to move off from that port. We're gonna try to like push forward, clean up a little bit, and try to flip this city right here, which I think he can. No, I think you can break through easily. New tank kills, copter interrupts. You're still kind of sacrificing units. Even the battleship is gonna move off from here to protect over here, so that's gonna be nice. Also pointing at the city, so it's doing a lot of stuff, and also at the same time staying away from these copters. Don't wanna give that free damage. And for those that love that naval play, we have the most hype and the worst unit of naval, the infamous cruiser. And you definitely need a cruiser in this scenario. If there is one scenario in all of Advanced Wars that you need a cruiser, it is this one, where you have 2 submarines just like looming on your battleship and your carrier. The only one scenario where cruisers are viable and are really smart to make and very much needed is right here. Not even if you make a sub here, then both submarines are gonna hit you and probably kill you. So no, cruiser is definitely the play here. So yeah, we're seeing all of the whole naval triangle, the battleship, submarine, cruiser thing. We'll see if Dumpling also makes a battleship or whatever. We're gonna keep on fighting here. We're gonna clean up some of these foot soldiers. This Neo tank is gonna make it really awkward for Dumpling now. There is this artillery, but there's more units from Profeta. So it looks like Profeta is doing a really solid job at defending, has been able to ward off all these attacks. Maybe Dumpling got too greedy over here with attack, got too greedy over here, and not greedy enough over here. And it's kind of like at a standstill in this area, like doesn't know how to break through this position to take over the space. So a little bit of uncertainty maybe, and that uncertainty gave enough turns to Profeta to solidify a defense everywhere else. Even being behind on income, right? Being behind 12k, or no, more, 16k in income. There's so much. And actually look at that. As I say it, Dumpling does make battleship in an effort to counter the cruiser, right? But it is such an awkward triangle because it's the battleship is never gonna counter the cruiser. Like the cruiser has to like jump into range of the battleship for the battleship to shoot at it. It's as if the triangle was, I don't know, copter, anti-air, artillery. Like an artillery is not gonna counter an anti-air. The anti-air has to fall into its range. And now like it looks like Dumpling is like sending some of the stuff down here, possibly to defend. I wonder if we're gonna break through here and interrupt. It's gonna delete that mech, huh? Yeah, I'm kind of uncertain what the plan is now for Dumpling. Seems like a little bit of uncertainty, like not knowing where to attack. Like it's like, okay, I have this income lead. Like, is this enough? Wow, that was a KO. That was crazy. Like maybe not knowing where to keep pushing, like where to go for the throat, you know, like get the finishing blow. You have that income lead, and then everything else is kind of, you do have a very large unit count lead. And wow, Dumpling is not gonna go for the interrupt, rather for the attacks here. That is interesting. So this city is going to get flipped by Hawk, and that is going to be huge for Hawk. I'm sure Profeta is gonna be happy about that. I don't think the city is gonna get flipped. There is this battleship still pointing at them, so we'll see. But yeah, just kind of pushing back here. I know it is hard because after you have these, your next objective would be like the base, but it is definitely a thing that you can go for. Especially you have these submarines kind of controlling the water plus the battleship next turn. You just have to have these in position, like in this area, so then you can kind of synchronize the attack. But this seems very disconnected. This from this. Then this neo tank going all the way towards the right doesn't make a lot of sense to me. If it would have stayed here, then it could have deterred these neo tanks from attacking. We'll see. Profeta is now gonna break through, gonna get that interrupt there, not gonna give that for free, and actually uses the battleship to get a shot into that tank. Gets the flip, gets a shot with that battleship. Now that's value with a battleship. It's not every day you get value from a battleship. Carrier gets another copter kill, and another copter goes down to that anti-air. I'm gonna heal that guy, bring that artillery, and now this new tank has no business here. There's nothing you can do. You just have to run away, go heal up. Yeah, the army here by Sensei is just completely dwindled, and setting this formation here where the cruiser is defending the carrier. So it looks like the carrier is the most valuable unit for Profeta right here. He's gonna allow a shot here onto the battleship by the sub, but then it can be taken out by this cruiser, and also gonna put that 6 HP infantry on the port so that the submarine cannot cross over it. And we're gonna get some more attacks right there. Gonna have to kind of pull back here. There's all of army coming here, but no infantry threat really to capture any of these cities. So the attack by Dumpling is kind of starting to crumble down, which is something that you really don't want to be in a position as Sensei, as the aggressor. Like, you want to be very certain of where your attacks are. Like, this is the objective, this is the next one. We're gonna get a few attacks over here, but yeah, like losing the tempo over here, not having anything to capture the city, losing the army here, it's starting to really looking now somewhat bad for Sensei. I know that the income is okay, but one city got flipped. The unit value army is kind of similar. Then we got another super coming, and just like overall position wise, I don't see a lot of possibilities for Sensei to keep attacking. Kind of falling into a very defensive position over here, building a mega tank due to a lack of units. This city is just not gonna get captured. I think there's also that uncertainty of like, how can I dislodge this, and it is very tricky, really. I think maybe having a bomber would help a lot to like get rid of this battleship, or encourage or force like awkward builds. I think maybe earlier the rocket, but if not, if anything, like the all-in onto the space, because that is kind of like the win condition in this map. After getting all these leads on the cities, you can just all in onto the space and go for the kill there. If you flip that, then that's it. That's the GG. If this base is lost, then all this army can then kind of join, can just like pour down over here, help out this base, and you can overrun this or this, and then it's just an overall bleed out. But yeah, I think that's maybe where Dumpling missed the opportunity and the win condition, because this is gonna be really hard. There's no infantry ready. Like, they got this one at 9, this one at 9. We're gonna have this battleship now. This battleship could go on base lock. I mean, we do have the base lock actually. It is also covering that submarine. Is it gonna attack? I think it's just gonna stay put there. Oh, actually goes back. Huh, interesting. So maybe the submarine is gonna be sent all the way over here, kind of like sneakily, like make Profeta think that the submarine is still around here, and actually is gonna take like a bunch of turns to go here and attack this battleship. So I don't know, maybe there's a chance here still for Sensei. It is slowly looking better for Hawk as we get another Black Storm. Oof. There goes all of the healing up and all of the the Black Storm damage, the global damage. Gonna interrupt that capture and finish that guy off. Never gonna let that city go. Gonna kill that guy and get a capture going there. Block also this tile, so now it is gonna be impossible for Dumpling to interrupt this capture right here. Gonna also start this capture and block with a few units, even with an artillery behind it. So Profeta really looking to equalize that income, and that is pretty much the win condition of Hawk at this point. Just equalize, makes another battleship, which is now it is also like in range of that battleship. So that battleship, yes, it is base locking, it is at 8 HP, but there are 2 battleships pointing at you. So yeah, you have to back off. And like, you know, this one is at 6, you know, it received 2 global damage. It's at 6 HP, it's not gonna do too much. The other one's at 8, like fine, you can maybe get hit by 2. And then the other one attacks here. Then you kill a submarine. I don't know. This one's gonna heal up. I don't know, maybe that is the play, but this guy is not in position. Like, this guy is not in position to attack there. So yeah, this battleship has to back off. Cannot stay there. It is not gonna be worth it to just shoot at an infantry or, I don't know, a tank and then just die. And Dumpling decides to resign, and I think it is totally fair. The opportunities to attack have been lost. I think definitely this was just the wrong play, like evacuating the army and going somewhere else, like that front shift to go somewhere else and get more cities. I understand it, to like increase that income difference, but I think Dumpling was doing such a great job up to like a few turns ago of pushing, putting pressure and flipping cities, and got that 60 to like 44k, right? Income. That was insane, but missed the final objective of closing out the game with going for that base. Like, if everything would have just been invested here, just brute force push your way into this base with all the overwhelming units. You got the mechs, you can have the battleship as well. I think the sub was an interesting play, especially for the one, because the battleship came out here. Whatever you can, I think that the sub is interesting, but maybe this sub could have been a battleship. Move it over here and start really just like synchronizing the attack with the battleship and all the units and the copters, and just collapse everything and take over that base. Just brute force it. Like, there's only going to be one base producing units, and maybe kind of invested a lot in the other bases, especially in this one when Profeta was kind of like pushing back, like he was all the way back here, and so maybe invested a lot here, a lot of resources to get greedy and like, hey, you know what, he's pulling back, I can go and attack and flip stuff. And instead of investing there, it could have been all invested here. Like, imagine if this army would have had more neo tanks, more mega tanks, more rockets, artilleries, or a battleship, stuff like that. I think that was the, let's see, we can go back a little bit like around here. Like, this was awesome. Boom, this was like perfect turn. Look at that. Boom, flipped 4 cities right there. That is beautiful. Got an attack there, but then yeah, I kind of have to pull back because there's no neo tank. But you know, after a while, look at that army. That army can definitely start pushing forward. Like, look at that. It's beautiful. Even got the submarine, pushes forward a little bit, and this could have been a battleship instead. You know, maybe join a few mechs, a few more mechs or whatever. But then just kind of like after that super, just kind of pulls back, and I think that is where the mark was missed, right? I think this should have stayed here, keep the pressure, and try to go for that base. But just a really great game. So many units. We got the naval play going as well. So yeah, I hope you guys liked it. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.